I'm Ashton Addison from the Crypto Coin Show, and today on Blockchain Interviews with Aleksandr Korchagin, CMO of Hexacore. Aleksandr, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time.
Ashton, thank you for having me.
Very excited to dive into Web3 gaming with you, and Hexacore, I know, is deep in the space. I think it's an industry that has so much potential. The market cap is way bigger than blockchain as a whole. And when these two worlds merge together, it is going to be a beautiful thing. It's already happening, but I feel like there's a long way to go. And I know you have some insights into that. Excited to dive into what Hexacore is working on as well. I'd love to kick off our conversation by just getting a high-level overview of what you and your team have built at Hexacore, how it relates to Web3 gaming, and then we can dive into all the details.
Sure thing. Thank you very much. Well, first off, do fully agree. When blockchain, gaming, and AI, additional to that, will sort of collide and bring us all to the bright new future, we'll see unbelievable things, I believe. As for Hexacore, well, Hexacore is a games publisher with a twist to it. And the main twist is that we are building what we call mid-journey or DALI for games. So basically the idea here is to enable any player or any content creator or any wannabe creator to co-create assets within the game. And pretty much what we're doing is building the pipeline, is building the infrastructure and base for this, and of course working on marketing as well as we have one internally developed game, which is called Pocket Space. So it's been in development for 1.5 years so far. It's gonna be an MMO with shooter elements to it. The socials are existing for more than a year. We have been launching season 1, season 2, had a free mint with it. But that's the Web3 part of it. And as for the sort of this creator AI side of the things, Pocket Space is not going to be the only product, as Hexacore is deep in connection with, well, Hexacore basically is a studio behind several hyper-casual products. And these hyper-casuals are currently above 350 million installs, and we would like to also incorporate this part, this huge hyper-casual sort of movement into this AI creator-enabling pipeline that we built. I hope that's, yeah, that pretty much covers the basics here.
No, that's very, very cool. And yeah, congrats on the success so far of the games. I think hyper-casual is just, it's so exciting when blockchain is in your pocket. I'm really looking forward to that growing even more. I'm sure those numbers are will exponentially grow in hopefully the near future. But what you said about AI there, I think is crucial to understand. You know, looking at 2023 and 2024 with the growth of Midjourney, DALI, and ChatGPT, of people finally interacting more directly with AI, being able to create things. Having that incorporated into games is amazing because the blockchain technology incorporated into games, yeah, you can tokenize assets and own them, but I feel like the next step beyond that is actually creating assets or becoming a creator in any kind of game where no longer can you just own an asset and take it out of the game, trade it for something else or real world money. You can actually create the assets, which is amazing. I actually haven't seen that in any other Web3 games yet. That sounds like awesome.
Well, thank you. Indeed. So what we, deeply believe in is that with all these movements with AI and with all the advancements in blockchain, is that probably in the nearest future, most of the entertainment, at least some of the main entertainment, is not going to be only player co-owned, which is sort of what happens in the metaverses, but it also going to be player co-created. It's going to be generative at its heart. It's by the way, that's what CEO of NVIDIA once also said, is that it's pretty much that. So what we think is if there's gonna be an emerging Disney of the future in 5 to 10 years, it's gonna be partially very much based on personal experiences, which are partially generated. We could imagine it like, I would like to see Lord of the Rings movie, but I would like the main character to be or like the Frodo to be Keanu Reeves, and that's pretty much actually technically possible with Sora already. We are not trying to strive for that particular niche. We're not into movies too much. We're in gaming, but it's something that we tend to believe is going to be the industry shift very soon. And with that, enabling players to actually unleash their imagination, to learn how to create things in some sort of structured pattern and manner, is a good cause, I guess. It's a good thing. It will later on let us, live in this world of co-creation.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool, Aleksandr. And I was looking at the Hexacore main platform, trying to figure out how all of this starts with the asset generation. And I saw that there's this asset generation offering, AGO, which I've never seen before in blockchain space. Can you explain exactly how that works and at what point people start getting involved to actually create assets in-game?
Well, the AGO, yes, as you properly named it, asset generation offering, is the first, I guess, because we came up with the term. So so that's what we are trying to say by it, is that there is going to be a set of events actually, which are going to let people first off whitelist into our system, since the system is still in development. So we can showcase things, we can showcase 2D creations, 3D creations, and pretty much many of the AI powered creations can be done manually, but we need this pipeline to be fully developed. So everything, when it's like the end user enters the system and basically does everything he wishes. So it's still to be there. It's going to be delivered during the summer, and by autumn we expect to go fully online. For now, on the 1st of May, we are releasing the starting to spread the word, basically. We are announcing everything. We're announcing the video, how the system is going to look. In a while after that, we're launching the assets collection sale on our website, and it basically starts from there. So with assets collection, there is going to be a deflationary logic involved. So comers will have the lower prices, but this is basically for the overall, as an overall idea, that people will get, for one pass, they will get 10 different NFTs of in-game characters or in-game entities that they choose to have. As for the user experience, sort of UI, user interface of it, it's going to look pretty simple. So we call it Midjourney or DALL-E for games, just for a reason, so that the player is going to just use prompts, then choose from several customizations, basically get the 2D. If he likes the 2D, he will get a 3D model out of it in a while, and after it's going to be playable. It's going to be playable within the list of apps that we're going to go live with. Just that I mentioned, that is going to be Pocket Space as a more of a deeper integration. So since Pocket Space is an MMO, and it has shooter elements to it, it has story elements to it, it has idle mining mechanics, it's going to have more of points where the player can actually create. But we also have this list of applications that are going to be launched on the web, which are hyper casual, which don't provide this level sort of deep engagement, but just the horizontal engagement across the platform. So people will play a lot of these games, like, or maybe play all of them while playing Pocket Space longer in terms of gameplay time and overall story and overall basically everything. So if it makes sense, everything started on the 1st of May. In a week or so, passes are launched. By autumn, we are going to deliver. But in the meanwhile, we're already delivering demos. We're delivering open betas, and that's how we rolled from day one. With Hexacore, Pocket Space was available to public basically, well, through our socials, of course, through Discord, basically. It was available since 2022, I would say, and we had different interesting encounters and stories connected to that when everything was tested. So we will be glad to see people coming to test here and now as well.
That's very cool, and that makes sense with Pocket Space being a very deep game where it's an MMO, you have characters, you have different weapons, there's more things potentially that you can create and tokenize into NFTs, and then the casual games, of course, are going to have things as well that you can create and tokenize on.
Exactly.
And now, for somebody who they're really interested in gaming, but they haven't gotten deep into the Web3 gaming, or they like games, but they don't know a lot about NFTs. Could you explain the difference or the similarities even of, say you just went to an NFT marketplace like OpenSea and you created a graphic or a picture of a character, you created that as an NFT and you were able to sell it. Is there a similar process happening where you go to Hexacore and you're creating an NFT of sorts, but it has more functionality inside of the games? You know, what's the major difference between just creating NFTs like that and creating an asset in Hexacore?
Well, of course, I guess your assumption was pretty correct. In this regard, it's very straightforward that everything that is going to be created within the Hexacore gaming universe is going to be usable there. So main utility in terms of the product is it's just, you could use this to play the game. You could use this to show to your friends, to share with your friends, to, if you wish to sell to somebody. We're also introducing creator fees for this. So everybody who is a creator, and if he is a successful one and the assets they create are sold well, they will get this part of incentive as well. And of course, in addition to that, there will be some interesting utilities of the Web3 side attached to that. For example, we are moving towards TGE by the end of summer, and the assets and all the tokens that are going to be played for and grinded are going to contribute towards that, towards the airdrops for the players, and so do the assets. What else I could say is, well, additionally, of course, these models are going to be, well, if we talk about 3D models, if we don't talk about 2D, these are going to be essentially 3D models. So whenever you like to use them somewhere else, for example, in your own pet product or in another product that enables this pipeline, who we partner with, it will also be possible to use it there. And we are already in discussion with about 20 games on how to actually incorporate and how to add this on top.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Actually, I was going to ask about that because I know that there's so many other game studios that are looking at integrating and tokenizing, but having something where you could have asset creation. If you could position Hexacore as like a protocol that you could just connect your game into to allow that asset creation, maybe Roblox or Call of Duty decides to get into Web3 and they're like, hey, we could just plug in this asset creation. Now all of a sudden, millions of people are able to create and tokenize assets into a game.
Absolutely, yes. Well, as for creating a protocol, actually, this is part of the plan, is to go partially even open source to, to open this up for the public to contribute. As for the, well, as for how we would like to move on with with partnerships like Roblox, it's harder to tell if guys like Roblox are going to be, able to enable such a pipeline quickly in terms of the fact that, well, it's slightly different. So if we talk about games that use UGC, they use not that clumsy, but they do use editors that need, that have this threshold of experience. It has some learning curve, which is quite steep from time to time, especially if you want to build something really interesting and cool. In here, what we want to happen is this steepness and overall curve to be way more forgiving, to the threshold to be way lower. So everybody who's basically, who has got imagination could use that imagination. So this is the overall dream and belief for us. So yeah.
No, I think that's a great strategy, Aleksandr. Ensuring the lowest possible barriers to entry. It's already as an extra step in your thought process when you incorporate blockchain. But hey, if you can do it in a few clicks, all of a sudden,
oh yeah,
now I'm ready to try it out. So I like that strategy.
Well, yeah, that's what's been haunting, if I may, blockchain for like about 9 years, is that it's not mainstream enough. And actually central exchanges played a huge role in adoption with mobile applications and gaming. I think it's still untapped. I think gaming has a huge potential in front of us of this adoption process, and the the games that have been launched and been huge we are going to see even more of that. And we're going to see large, publishers entering the space more and more. And in this environment, yeah, it's bright new world for us. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna move there soon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which major publishers from traditional gaming that already have millions of customers, millions of dollars of revenue, when and how they get into Web3 gaming. I'm curious, with you being more deep in the gaming side of blockchain, I know a lot about blockchain, but the gaming is so specific and there's so many different facets to creating not just a successful game, but a successful game that also has blockchain, and balancing the user experience versus the actual functionality, making sure you don't get too carried away with the blockchain, forget about actually building a great game.
True.
Where do you think the Web3 gaming industry is at in that loading bar that's getting closer to mainstream adoption or the introduction of the blockchain into games that can have millions and millions of users?
Well, what I tend to see and believe is that there is no well, I don't think that the barrier that the barrier for for blockchain adoption in games or anywhere else is going to stay for long. I mean, as soon as everything gets more and more regulated and understood by the governments and the platforms, and everybody is enabling, the use cases and the flows for the blockchain to be integrated, we might see blockchain just as a new, sometimes more secure, sometimes enabling ownership system that, that like card payments were not mainstream 40 years ago, right? So that's changed hugely. Now I don't see many people going around with cash. right now we can see that the Web3 sort of crowd are using blockchain, are using cryptocurrencies here and there, but are limited to how they could do that. Well, I don't think this is gonna exist in about 5 years. And as for gaming, as for basically getting back into games, I think that this is going to become one of the commercial, like one of the payment flows, one of the revenue streams for the big companies, for every of them. So what I'm trying to say is, gaming market in 2009, 2010 was somewhere at around 40 billion, as far as I remember, 40 to 45. Then microtransactions and mobile technologies came. What they made is 200 billion gaming market by now. What I believe is that blockchain is just the next step of this. So it will, just as microtransactions came in, they enabled small payments, quick and small. Blockchain is going to enable ownership and transferability. So in this regard, we believe that this is just one of the very interesting economic and logical movements. And as for AI, well, just as I said previously, I do believe it will democratize the creation. So it's not only ownership now, it's not only somebody else's work put into it to create something, but also your own work, your own imagination. This is so this is the belief, this is the vision that we hopefully will see very soon, but we're seeing the signs of it.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the AI integration and the democratization of me being able to create assets in a game, and also not just say, hey, I created something, but the creator royalties, or like earning in perpetuity as it gets traded around, is awesome. So with that, with the asset generation offering, I'm really going to look into that more as one of the first steps into hopefully integrating this into many, many different games, and maybe all games. What is the way for people to learn more about what you guys are building with the asset generation offering?
Everything's going to be available on our socials. The AGO platform X Twitter account is there. It's going to be launched on the 1st of May. Also, within the Pocket Space universe and the Pocket Space socials, we're going to talk more and more about it, as much as the platform and the pipeline is going to be tested in one instance or another. So, playing Pocket Space is probably going to assure that you are going to be well informed. And we're also going to launch a Telegram. We do have it available now, but it's not public yet. A Telegram app that is going to both enable some of the mini games of the platform. So it's going to be playable in Telegram and web, and it will also have several other cool features like mining, idle mining, and things like that. And all the information will be available through the bot as well. So it's three entities. It's the asset generation offering Twitter account, it's the Pocket Space Twitter and Discord account, and it's the Telegram app that's going to be available on the 1st of May.
Very cool. I can leave a link to those in the show notes, and I'm going to try to check out and play Pocket Space as quickly as possible to get informed on this AGO. I really do appreciate your insights, Aleksandr, into the Web3 gaming space, where we're at and where it's heading. I'm excited for this incorporation of AI and creator monetization, and wishing you and your team all the best on the upcoming AGO and everything with Hexacore going on. Would love to follow up with you again in the near future.
Thank you very much, Ashton. Very much appreciated. Thank you for having me here, and we are excited just as much as you are. Thank you.